What do you think is the best racing game sim across all platforms? Now, I can say as a racing sim aficionado that without a doubt the most hyper-realistic racing sim out there, but also a ton of fun, just gives the feeling of the roar of your engine, is Mario Kart Double Dash.
Serious answer for that one?
That was the serious answer. Do you think Nintendo of America will stop at the SNES Classic, or do you think we'll see an N64 Classic? And then another question that really goes hand in hand with this is, if Nintendo were to release an N64 Mini, what games would you like to see? Now, do I think we're gonna get one? Yes. I'm not quite as positive about an N64 one as I was for the SNES. You know, as soon as we saw the NES Classic, just SNES made sense to me. N64 feels a little weirder, a little more of a wild card.
Wild card, bitches!
But I'm currently leaning towards I think they're gonna do it. Now, as far as games I would love to see on it, you know, there's a number that I think are pretty safe bets, like Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, the original Super Smash Bros. For some slightly weirder ones, or like third-party stuff that isn't straight up Nintendo, I'd like to see GoldenEye. I'd like to see Mega Man 64, which is really just Mega Man Legends with a different title for Nintendo. A weirder one, even though it wasn't as popular as Mario Kart, I actually really like Diddy Kong Racing, so seeing that on it would be cool. And then one other game that I think would be great is actually the answer to this next question. What's your favorite game based on a movie or TV show? So for this, I'd have to go with Rogue Squadron. All three of them are great. I guess if I had to pick just one of them, it'd probably be number 2 on the GameCube, but I spent a lot of hours on the original Rogue Squadron on N64. Now, this isn't necessarily my favorite Star Wars game, it's just my favorite one that's actually based on one of the movies. If we're looking at sort of just, you know, movie franchises in general, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 is an incredible game despite the fact that it's also unfinished and a buggy mess. But if you can actually get through all the bugs and play it, it is an incredibly well-written game and definitely worth trying out if you missed out on it.
GoldenEye?
Yeah, I loved GoldenEye as a kid. I don't know if I still have like strong nostalgia for it. It introduced local multiplayer in gaming, that's what I think the big deal was. I feel like it hasn't kept its age up as well.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree, okay. What's your favorite game making company? So what's weird about this question for me is comparing between like what studios are actively putting out or looking at the actual full catalog of a company. Because if I'm looking at the full catalog, I have a lot of love for some of the older Japanese companies like Capcom, Konami, Square Enix. I mean, my favorite franchises are Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, Mega Man. But when I'm looking at stuff they've done recently, I've kind of been let down a little more. I like some of the stuff being produced under Square Enix, but games they develop firsthand, I'm a little more iffy on. When I'm looking at stuff that's coming out recently, I've got a lot of respect more recently for Arcane Studios, thanks to Dishonored 2 and Prey. One of my favorite indie studios is Supergiant Games. I loved Bastion and Transistor, really looking forward to Pyre. And then I actually really like Vanillaware just because their art style and approach to stuff is just so unique and awesome looking. One game whose sequel you really want to play, but there isn't even rumors of it coming. So I actually touched on this a little bit when I did my E3 wish list, and there's this low-key successful DS game that came out back in, I think, 2009, which was Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. It was a spin-off game from the Might and Magic series that Ubisoft now owns, and it was this weird fusion of tactics game, puzzle game, RPG that just worked really, really well. I mean, I'm not a huge puzzle guy. I mean, I've had fun doing like Tetris and stuff before, but this was the first one with a competitive aspect that I could actually see myself playing a lot, and there's been no word of another one at all whatsoever. I mean, Ubisoft hasn't even really hinted at it. Capybara has been mixed on the side doing Below for the last 4 years, which I'm not even sure if that's coming out at this point. I think they're doing like a Cartoon Network game now. I don't know, there's just no word of a new game coming, which really makes me sad because it was an excellent game. The original release was in 2009. It got a remake in 2011, which is on PC and Xbox 360, and I think phones now. So if you haven't played it, definitely check it out, and then you can be like me, hoping that a new one comes and never will.